Okay, I'm jumping in on the Pokemon Sun and Moon hype train here. Last night, Alolan Forms for Raichu was leaked, and so it's becoming apparent very quickly that these Alolan Pokemon forms are going to be everywhere, with Meowth and Marowak also shown a few days ago. So in this video, I'm going to run through 10 Kanto Pokemon in no particular order that I'd like to see Alolan Forms for. I'm sticking to Kanto Pokemon because that's what Sun and Moon appear to be doing at the moment. And well, it's a lot easier shifting for 150 Pokemon than it is 700. Not only that, but so far we've only seen these Kanto Pokemon. So are Kanto and Alola related? Most likely. With Pokemon Go grabbing the attention of old fans, it makes sense that Nintendo would want to tie this all in. And with that said, as much as I love Generation 1, I'm getting a bit tired of all the love it's getting. But anyway, let's get on with the show. In 10th place, I've gone for Arcanine. Right, I'll get this out of the way right now. Yes, I do want to see a new Arcanine, and yes, I think it should be water type. So we're all pretty much agreed on that, so let's go on. 9th place, Jinx. As much as I dislike Jinx, they could easily give her an Alolan form, by simply adjusting her dress-like thingy into a hula skirt. Give her some bright pink skin, if that's not too controversial, and some flowers in her hair. From this, I think Jinx would lose her Ice and Psychic typing and become a Grass Fairy type, with an ability that always starts the battle off with a dance, perhaps getting all the Pokemon in the match dancing, which would reduce some of their stats. In 8th place, I've gone for Lapras. Lapras is quite a tropical Pokemon anyway, and I could easily see an Alola form being quite similar to its original, but it could have a larger neck to reach food from cliffs, not quite as big as Alolan's Exeggutors though, and its shell could become coated in coral. Its colour scheme could be a lot lighter too, but could create a rainbow-like effect when the sun shines down on it. It could lose its ice typing and become a water dragon. Number 7, Whisinbell and Victreebel. I see these guys moving to the sands of the beach or the desert because their bodies couldn't take the heat. They root themselves in the sand and become traps, giving them the grass ground or poison ground typing. Can you imagine the top of Victreebel head sticking out the ground? It coats its leaf in sand and it covers its mouth, waiting for prey to step over it. Number 6, Tangler. I think it'd be great if some Tangler lived deep in the woods and lose their pure grass typing and become pure poison, or even poison and dark. Their vines could turn into a very deep green colour and could become hazardous to touch, something that could be reflected in their ability. They could also be scared of sunlight and cover their eyes when they're out in the light. This could drop their accuracy, but increase their attack. Number 5, Farfetchd. I see Alolan Farfetchd looking fairly similar to its original design, but instead of holding a leek, it holds a huge stick. This stick could be used for poking down fruit from tall trees. It could also be used for Farfetchd to stand on top, so it could be on the lookout. I think Farfetchd would become a flying fighting type, using its stick as a weapon, and also using other moves such as close combat. In 4th place, I've gone for Muck. Alola seems to be a pretty clean place. It's hard to imagine a toxic Pokemon like Muck living there. So I had a couple of ideas for how Muck could work. Firstly, a sand Muck, which has been debunked due to the new Sandcastle Pokemon. But my preferred idea anyway was that Muck are now covered in seaweed as they wanted to fit in with the tropical surroundings. Beneath they are still their poisonous selves, but the added seaweed could give them a water or grass typing. I think their seaweed could almost act as an armour, similar to that new Meteorite Pokemon, where attacks would eventually uncover Muck's new green body. When this happens, all the Pokemon in the field become poisoned, then Muck would quickly regenerate its seaweed. Number 3, Voltorb and Electrode. I see this as Voltorb and Electrode have got lost at sea, floating out over to the region. Over time they have lost their electric typing and have become water types, preferring to stay out at sea now. They can create whirlpools by spinning really fast and can still self-destruct, creating wave attacks. Their colouring could change so that the red parts become a green seaweed-like colour. Below them you could still see reminiscence of red, and the white parts could become a yellowy orange colour. It'd be neat if little shells and coral were stuck to their bodies too. Number 2, the Geodude evolution line. Geodude typically live on mountains, and mountains can be cold. This idea basically sees Geodude becoming a ball of ice. When it eventually becomes a golem, it's an ice Pokemon surrounded by a coating of snow, aka a snowball Pokemon. This golem could have a new rollout style attack, where Golem physically gets bigger with each turn by collecting snow on its body. Failing this, I could easily see Golem becoming a rock fire type, gaining a crater-like design. This is how I've always imagined his Mega Evolution. I'd be pretty content with either, to be honest. And finally, number 1, Haunter and Gengar. I really want to see a Tiki-inspired Pokemon. My thoughts here is that when Ghastly becomes Haunter, it claims a mask that it holds in front of its face. It does this so it can sneak into festivals during the day and night, so it can become part of the action without people getting scared of it. This trait could carry on through to Gengar. These two Pokemon I think would potentially keep their Ghost Poison typing, but their defense stats would dramatically increase. They'd also be able to use new moves, utilising their mask. Could you imagine Gengar sticking its tongue out through the mask? I really do love this idea. Well, that's it folk, a very quick fire 10 Alolan Forms I'd like to see. What would you like to see? Because no doubt we'll be getting a lot more soon. You've been watching Keen TV. Thank you very much for tuning in.